I just remember that we got a City Point postcard in our mailbox, and I thought, this place looks interesting. Well, I guess we'll go check it out.
So we pulled into the parking lot of a Cinemark, and I thought that maybe she was lost. I didn't really know what to think, and so we walked in, and I thought that they were going to ask for a ticket, but we just told her that we were going to church, which that's maybe what some people say when they're going to the movie theater. But we went through, and we went to this service, and we had this really great experience there. I wasn't even a believer at the time.
We walked in and there was, a place to check in our daughter. And then there was great coffee. And at my church that I came from, that I grew up in, it was very conservative. There was no coffee, and I'm a coffee girl. He's a coffee guy. And I was like, oh, we can have coffee in church. That's awesome.
That's right. And I tell you, I don't know that we really had huge expectations, right? I mean, the friends who invited us, great friends of ours, absolutely trust their judgment. But really, I think we were so worn out from trying to find a church that fit. We'd heard it was great, struck out. So I think we were really trying to pacify some friends on this deal. But we were hungry.
The first Sunday morning of my City Point, that was a point of my life where God was not in my life at all. And I was one of those that anything that I'd gone through in my life, I kind of, you tend to deal with it on your own, and you can handle it, and you can do it, and you can get yourself through it. And I think that at that point, that morning, I knew that I could no longer do this alone.
Every time I go to a new church, I kind of keep my guard up, and I'm like, are they really intentional or genuine when they say they're happy to see me, or are they just, putting a smile on their face, putting on this face of, we want you here, but really the reality is they don't. So I guess I had my guard up. Another thing I noticed is that this was actually the smallest church I've ever been to.
We did a lot of searches on Google and on the internet. And
we visited about 8 or 9 churches.
Yes.
City Point was one of them. It was a heart's cry for us to find a good church that we can be a part of, where there was a real live pastor and not just a screen, video screen of a pastor. We wanted to have a relationship with our pastor, and we wanted a small church where we can connect with people and know their names and their stories, and are also walking a journey in faith, I guess you could say.
Right when we found City Point, I was making a huge career adjustment, and it was an absolute disaster. With that, my dad died during that time. My mom had cancer. We got pregnant with our second kid, and we had probably a 2 or 3 year season of life where we felt like, what is all this stuff getting thrown at us? And oddly enough, every single week, there was a word with the message that just kind of fed me, that just got us through the week with amazing peace.
Not only have I grown, my family attends this church. And to see my mom and dad walk through those doors it just melted my heart, because my dad never went to church. And they still come here. Coming to City Point, I've opened myself, and God is in my life every day with everything that I do and everything that happens to me. I'm no longer going to try to do this by myself. I'm going to give it to you, and I know that you will handle it. And so far, he has handled it.
By being not only part of the prayer team, but also being part of community groups, I've learned that it's okay for me to be honest about myself to other people in this church. And I don't have to keep this guard up, and I don't have to pretend like everything's okay and that I'm living a perfect life, because the reality is I'm not, and I don't think anyone is. Being honest was what really helped me not only be closer to people here, but also be closer to God.
I think what makes City Point special is that they're always trying to think about how can we make people feel more welcome and show them God's love through that.
After years of coming and of not believing, I had this moment where everything that had been working came to its moment of crisis. I came and I talked with Eddie, and the church was here, and the church caught me. I was back with God, and I was back with God at City Point. They saved my soul, and I'm grateful to City Point forever for that.
One thing that God has really moved in our hearts is adoption. He lets us know that we're supposed to be adopting a little girl from India. All God needs is a willing heart and for somebody to say yes, and he can use 2 regular people to impact the life of a little girl that who knows what she's gonna do after she, gets to come here and join our City Kids and hear the gospel in our home as well. So how God can just use regular people to make an impact in this world. It's been really cool for us to learn that.
Eddie spoke about Jesus going after his one sheep when he left the herd. And I wrote him, I emailed him and Julie, and I said, we are your one sheep, and I'm so thankful that you found us and you came for us.